wrongfully convicted, released after serving years in prison. Some most their life. It's crazy. Check it out. This man right here is Ricky Jackson. Ricky Jackson was a teenager living in Cleveland, Ohio when he was wrongfully sentenced to death. He was a victim of wrongful conviction in the 1975 murder-robbery case of a money order salesman named Harold Franks. Ricky Jackson had two co-defendants, brothers Wally and Ronnie Bridgman. The only evidence they had on him was a false coerced eyewitness testimony of a 13-year-old boy named Eddie Vernon. But later on, Eddie Vernon will play a big part in why they go home. There was no fingerprints or physical evidence linking them to the crime. None of them had no criminal history, and all three of them had credible alibis. Nevertheless, all three of them were sentenced to death. Later on, it was commuted to life without parole. But unlike his co-defendants, Ricky was never granted parole because he was deemed the shooter in the case. They said he was the shooter in the murder-robbery case. So Ricky wound up serving 39 years, 3 months, and 9 days in prison. 39 years for something you didn't do. That's the longest time in prison for anybody that has ever been exonerated. In 2011, Cleveland Scene magazine published a detailed examination of the case. It highlighted numerous inconsistencies in Eddie Vernon, the witness testimony, in the absence of any other evidence linking the three men to the case. The reporter from the newspaper reached out to Eddie Vernon's pastor so he can try to talk to him, but Eddie Vernon still didn't want to openly discuss the case. But look, the pastor later said in a sworn affidavit that he said that Eddie Vernon told him that he lied to the police about witnessing the murder in 1975, and he had put 3 innocent men in prison for murder. He said he tried to back out of the lie at the time of the lineup, but he was only a child, and the police said it was too late for him to change his story. So after all that, Eddie Vernon's pastor convinced him to publicly recant his story, setting in motion the exoneration of Ricky Jackson and the Bridgman brothers. In November of 2014, Judge Richard McMonagle granted motion for new trial, vacating their convictions.